Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Welcome to another video. It's that time of the weekend, Premier League predictions time. Although this week is a little different because of FA Cup clashes and everything. There are only 4 games that we're going to be looking at this week in what is a part game week for Premier League football. Some teams are obviously involved in the FA Cup, which means their games have been postponed. Some games are still going ahead, and it means that some teams will obviously get an extra week of preparation for the rest of the season, as of course the international break is set to follow this week. So it's really going to be a big week for those that are playing to set the pace for those around them. We've still got top 4 clashes. We've still got relegation battles to contend with. The title race may take a back seat and a hold for another couple of weeks or so. But it is still very intriguing to see what is going to take place and what is going to happen as far as the rest of the Premier League goes. So the rest of the Premier League is taking centre stage. And of course, this is the video where I talk about them games and give my analysis and preview and prediction over what is going to be happening in those particular outcomes. Before we go any further, I would like to remind you to please like the video and also subscribe if you're new. Both things are always incredibly greatly appreciated. Also, get involved in the comment section. Let me know what you think and feel down below in that comment section. As far as what obviously your thoughts, comments, opinions, most of all though predictions as to how you think each and every game is going to go this weekend. Would love to know that. But without further ado, let's go on with the video. I'm going to start off with Burnley taking on Brentford, and I've gone with a 2-1 win for Brentford. In my opinion, Burnley are already down, but it isn't going to be for those that aren't trying. Burnley will try and take the advantage with them being at home. They'll try and be on the front foot. They'll try and be progressive. They'll try and be attacking. And that could really open the door for a counter-attacking display from Brentford, which will ultimately give them the victory. I think with the likes of Visser and Ivan Toney in particular leading the line, I really feel that with the chances that Burnley leak, Brentford could really fancy their chances of scoring plenty of goals in this game. I have gone with a 2-1 win, but it could be more. Either way, Brentford to pick up the 3 points is what I'm going for in this game. It isn't out of the realms of possibility for Burnley to pick up something in this game, but I just think with the way that they play, in contrast to the way that Brentford play, I do feel that Thomas Frank's side will get an all-important win in what is a big relegation clash. Remember, Brentford are not safe by any stretch of the imagination, and I feel that the season is going a little bit under the radar due to other outside interferences and other clubs that are getting more attention. But it shouldn't be completely forgotten that Brentford are very much in this relegation battle and are very much in desperate need of points. And I feel in this big relegation clash in this one, it could be a good start in which to get them. 2-1 to the Bees is what I've gone for. Big clash down at the bottom of the table. Next, moving on to Luton against Nottingham Forest. And if you want to talk about big clashes at the bottom of the table, we're here at Kenilworth Road to talk about Luton's game against Nottingham Forest. Forest are welcome to Kenilworth Road, and I've gone with a 2-2 draw in this one. Massive game for both of these sides, and personally, I can only see I can't only see a draw. It's very difficult to predict these two sides. Maybe the extra 90 minutes in midweek with Luton having to play against Bournemouth may still be in their legs a little bit, so that could be an advantage to Forest. Obviously, Luton may still also be hurting from that game in which they were 3-0 up at one point and ended up losing 4-3 in what was incredible and unbelievable circumstances in that particular game. So that could still be on the minds of the Luton Town players. Forest are feeling annoyed and aggrieved right now at Premier League and Premier League referees and for what they feel is unfair treatment. Well, hopefully this week there'll be no controversy surrounding this game and that it will be decided one way or another without the need for any sort of being put under the microscope of VAR or the conversation of referee standards or VAR raising its ugly head yet again. But in this one, it's going to be interesting. Luton Town fight with everything that they have, especially when they're at home. Forest away from home, we know, are not exactly great. But when push comes to shove, they are in desperate need of points. Could that be the tipping point to propel Forest over the edge in this one? Like I say, it isn't out of the realms of possibility for either of these sides to go on and win it. But I am going to go with a 2-2 draw. I'm going to say that the points are shared and that it doesn't really help either side in this relegation battle, but it is still a point nonetheless. Next up, Fulham are taking on Tottenham at Craven Cottage, and I've gone with a 3-1 victory in favour of Ange Postecoglou's side. Not for the ones that are trying for Fulham. Fulham are very difficult to predict. When Fulham are good, they can be very difficult to break down. They can be very difficult to stop at the other end as well. They can be a very awkward side for most opposition. But when they're not good, they are very easy to play against. And, you know, I don't know which Fulham side's going to turn up. I don't know whether it's going to be a very difficult Fulham side or a very easy to play through Fulham side. And I guess with Tottenham as well, it is also difficult. If Fulham line up in a very stubborn and disciplined low block, it could really thwart Ange Postecoglou and his tactics as far as what Tottenham go by. And it could also help Fulham in getting something from this game. But we also know that with the likes of James Maddison and obviously the likes of Son and all the key players for Spurs, we know that they have the capabilities that can unlock a stubborn defence on their day. But if the defence isn't exactly stubborn, they'll absolutely walk through that Fulham side, and that's where I think they'll get a fair few goals from. Fulham, like I said, getting something out of this game isn't at the realms of possibility. It would be very much like Spurs, given the advantage in the top four race, to somewhat bottle it to an extent. But at the same time, look, I can't see it happening. I can only see a Spurs victory happening in this game. And that's why I've gone with a 3-1 win for Spurs. I think they just have too much in the attacking third to handle for Marco Silva's side. Although, again, if Fulham were to adapt their tactics and were to go more defensively, a stubborn low block, it could really stop Tottenham from breezing through them almost at will. And also, we do know that Fulham do have a dangerous counter-attack or dangerous set-piece taking. So, yeah. It would be very interesting to see what happens with Spurs going forward in this game, but it should be one that Spurs comfortably breeze past is what I'm going for here. And finally, in Sunday's game, we've got West Ham taking on Aston Villa at the London Stadium. Big game, this one, for both of these sides, really. The Hammers want to put more points on the board, want to put more pressure on the teams that are in and around them in terms of the European football places, whilst Aston Villa, of course, will want to get back to winning ways, and of course will want to respond to the assumption that Tottenham will, of course, win in their game before this one kicks off. I've gone with a 2-1 win in favour of Aston Villa. I know that, obviously, away from home, Aston Villa are somewhat hit and miss because of the way they set up and everything. But even last week when they were at home, they got absolutely demolished by Tottenham last weekend. They want to obviously put that wrong right. They'll obviously want to get back to winning ways and obviously get back to things in a winning manner, and obviously focus back on this whole top 5, top 4 race. It's going to be massive for both of these sides, but one that I think Aston Villa will get the job done in. West Ham, when they are, again, similar to Fulham, when they are good, they are very, very good. When they are bad, they are really, really bad, as proof and evidenced by by a large part of this season in terms of West Ham's wins and West Ham's losses. There doesn't seem to be very much of a middle ground when it comes to West Ham United this season. But it isn't, like I say, it isn't going to be as foregone a conclusion as that. Villa should be the favourites. Villa probably go into this one as the favourites, and with the form that Ollie Watkins has shown this season, it is very easy to probably predict that he'll have some sort of say in this game. So, which is why, in the end, the extra firepower, the edge of the firepower that Villa have at their disposal is probably what I'm going to go with as the tipping point in this, and say that Villa get the win in this one. 2-1 to Unai Emery's side is what I'm going for, and they're going to get back to winning ways. But those are just the thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it, of this guy. I want to know what you guys think. What do you make of all the games that are coming up this weekend? I know it's a very restricted fixture list with all things considered and everything, but I'd like to know what you guys think and feel, your thoughts, comments, opinions, but most of all, of course, your predictions will make for great interesting reading, I'm sure, down below. Otherwise, hit the like button on the way up, enjoy the video, subscribe if you are new, both things are always and forever greatly appreciated. Otherwise, thanks everyone so much for watching and listening. I've been Flash, this has been another Premier League predictions video. Look out for the FA Cup predictions video that's coming out tomorrow. Should be interesting as we enter the quarter-final stages. One step away from Wembley, of course. That's coming out tomorrow for all of the FA Cup games that are coming up this weekend. Like I say, this is the Premier League one. Leave your opinions and predictions down below. We'll make for interesting, great reading. Thanks everyone for stopping by and watching. Take care. Have a good rest of your day. And I will see and speak to you all again soon in another video or live stream or whatever it may be. Cheers, guys. Thanks everyone for watching. Take care. Have a good rest of your day.